Imagine stepping outside, taking a deep breath, and instead of just filling your lungs, you suddenly find yourself chewing on a fresh piece of air. That's right, in this universe, oxygen isn't just invisible, it's bubblegum for your mouth. Humanity would never be the same. First of all, air quality reports would turn into flavor updates. Today's forecast: a high chance of minty, fresh breezes with occasional cinnamon gusts. Stay indoors if you're allergic to strawberry smog. Pollution would be even scarier. Instead of coughing, people would spit out gray, tasteless lumps of smog and complain, "Oh, the city air is so stale today." Companies would jump on the trend instantly. Forget bottled water. Welcome to bottled air packs. Vending machines would sell limited edition flavors like Blueberry Sky or Ocean Breeze Original. Chewing air would become a social activity too. Instead of awkward small talk, people would nod to each other and ask, "Yeah, what flavor you got?" Of course, schools would be chaos. Teachers would scream, "Stop chewing in class!" And half the kids would respond, "But it's oxygen." Detention rooms would be filled with students blowing massive air bubbles that float to the ceiling. Gyms would adapt as well. Instead of protein shakes, trainers would hand out high-protein atmosphere chunks. Yogis would sit cross-legged saying, "Inhale peppermint, exhale spearmint." Romantic culture would change dramatically. Imagine a date where someone leans close and whispers, "Want to share a bubble?" Wedding vows would include, "I promise to share my last chew of air with you." And breakups would end with the painful line, "It's not you, it's just I need fresher air." The economy would shift to revolve around chewing industries. Farmers wouldn't grow crops, they'd cultivate wind. You'd see people in overalls checking their fields of swirling breezes saying, "This year's harvest of lemon-lime wind looks promising." Sports would evolve too. Bubble-blowing contests would be as big as the Super Bowl. Entire stadiums would watch athletes inflate giant transparent air balloons, and the crowd would cheer when one floats high into the stratosphere. But let's not ignore the darker side. Imagine running out of chewable air in an elevator. People would panic. Who's hogging all the peppermint oxygen? Black markets would emerge selling premium, illegal flavors like vanilla thunderstorm or cherry tornado. Governments would tax flavored air. Bureaucrats would stand at podiums declaring, "We're increasing the peppermint tax to fund fresh bubble technology." Of course, not everyone would adapt gracefully. Some people would insist on being raw breathers, refusing to chew, while others would walk around chomping constantly, sounding like a herd of noisy cows. And then there's the problem of chewing in your sleep. Spouses would wake up covered in half-inflated air bubbles drifting around the bedroom. Imagine bedtime arguments. "Honey, you're drooling carbon dioxide again." Still, the best part of chewable air would be creativity. Street performers would sculpt giant balloon animals from their own breath. Kids would chase runaway air bubbles down the street like magical floating candy. And scientists? They'd probably argue endlessly about whether burping after chewing air should be classified as recycling. So if air really could be chewed like gum, humanity would live in a constant bubble-blowing carnival. Life would smell fresher, taste weirder, and every single one of us would secretly wonder, what does moon air taste like?